Capricorn, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? What is good? What it do? It's time for your weekly check-in. We're just going to go ahead and see what's going on with you all for the last week and a half of September. So, it's a weekly check-in, so it's just a short, quick, general, energetic overview. Any of you need a personal reading? You can always go straight to my website, tarotwithrich.com. I have a link right down here in the description of this video. Now, for any of you who may have missed the memo, the weekly live readings this week are moved to tomorrow, Sunday, September 21st. It's just for this week. It's going to go back to Saturday next week, but going to be tomorrow. So we're going to be going live at 11 a.m. Pacific time and reading your personal readings right here on this channel. $22.22. And yes, you can pre-order on my website. The ones that come in first get read first. And the readings will be time-stamped in the comments on the video, and it will remain on my channel permanently. And you don't have to have your first name read out loud either if you don't want. You can pick whatever name you want me to use. So you can read up more about that on my website. The link is in the description. All right, so let's see how the energy is looking. How's the energy looking for the end of September, Capricorn, and their situation and the person they're dealing with? Ooh, of course, the Nine of Pentacles reversed. Some of you may be concerned that somebody was using you. Maybe even specifically that somebody may have been using you for your money. I know that's not all of you, but I have a feeling that it's quite a few of you. If you're wondering whether or not somebody was using you for something, I got the card for it right here on the table. Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. Ooh, and the Death card. Death card, Two of Cups reversed. So it kind of looks like it's getting to a point where the universe is closing the door on this. I've told that to 2 or 3 different signs over the last week or two. And you see that a lot. We're going to be seeing a lot more of this now that we're creeping into the last quarter of the year. Last quarter of the year is one of the most important parts of the year because the things that happen in the last quarter of the year are preparing to carve out the energetic pathway for the next year to come. Even though technically Aries season is the actual new year, that doesn't mean that the new year that we have created with our beliefs and our perceptions is not a very important start of a new cycle. And that's kind of what we're going through right here. I don't know what's been going on. It looks like the metaphorical proverbial door has been hanging open for somebody to come forward and take some kind of action, have some kind of conversation, and it's just strung on for too long. So Death card, Four of Wands reversed. Universe is closing the door on this. Closing the dang old door, man. So, doesn't look like much is happening here. It doesn't look like it. I'm not gonna lie. This is actually a very boring spread, to be honest with you. Pretty damn boring. All right, well, let's see how they feel about you and what their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions are. The person Capricorn is dealing with. What are their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions? They're trying to forget about you. I think they're pretty much just trying to delete you from their memory. Now, think about it. Why would somebody have to try to forget about you? Because you take up a lot of space in their head, right? At the deepest level, that means you're having some kind of impact on them. Yeah, see, at the deepest level, they still in love with you. Oh, they still in love with you. See, what they've been doing is they've been giving you the silent treatment. Actually, honestly, I have a feeling that a lot more of you are aware of the little game they've been playing than not. They've been giving you the silent treatment and doing things to try to see if they can get your attention, but it hasn't worked. So now, I think they're kind of just chucking that idea out the window, saying, fuck it, time to start new, start fresh, and just bury it, stuff it away, forget about it, run from it, and try to find the quickest, fastest, easiest new relationship possible, because it's time to just bury this and run from it. So some of you dealt with a Taurus, also have Cancer. Okay, could be anybody. Those are just energies. All right, well, let's get some advice then. This looks pretty straightforward. Pretty damn straightforward. What's the advice? What advice do we have for the Capricorn collective? Ooh, Devil reversed. I try not to default to this. I used to a lot back in the day, but I've learned that people struggle with this. Now this, you are not going to have a relationship with the universe. You're not going to be able to walk a very spiritual path at all if you can't do this. So I've kind of tried to ease off on just going straight to this because it sounds good, but when it comes to actually doing it, most people seriously struggle with it. But trust the fucking process, because this is happening for a very important reason. Now, don't just trust the process. Maintain an open heart and an open mind. And trust that not only is it happening for a reason, but the universe is going to show you the reason. That requires one hell of an open mind. Because, see, the universe took the trash out for you, basically. Basically, this is the trash being taken out for you. And it may not make a lot of sense right now. It may not. Don't try to drive yourself nuts making sense of it. Sometimes it can take a while, but I promise you. And it's much harder than it sounds. Much harder. But if you can maintain an open heart and an open mind, the universe will show you why this happened. It will. But you know what? It's so easy to get in the way and block the whole process. And you know how you do that? Getting caught up in your feelings. Which is very fucking easy to do. It don't take nothing for one thought to take off running unattended. Next thing you know, you're sitting around, oh man, I can't believe that fucking happened that way. I did this, and this is how they repaid me. That was so unfair. I was treated so unfairly. This shouldn't have happened this way. That shouldn't have happened that way. Blah, 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 blah. You're blocking it. You're completely blocking it. What you do is every time you catch yourself thinking about it, stop. Does it make sense yet? No? Okay, it's not time. 6 months from now, when you catch yourself thinking about it, does it make sense yet? Nope. Well, it's not time. A year from now, a year and a half, 2 years, 3 years from now, when you catch yourself thinking about it, does it make sense yet? No? Okay, well, I guess it's not time. You know the longest I've had to wait for the universe to show me why it did something fucked up in my life? 5 years. 5 years. Now, that's not typical. That's pretty extreme. The majority of the time, it's usually somewhere between 2 and 3 years. Less than 2 years it's usually at the shortest, a year and a half. That's not very typical though. Usually going into the second years when you're able to start looking back and really seeing, oh, now it makes sense. Now it makes sense. Now, let me stop you because I already know where you're going with this. Oh, no, I know why that was meant to happen. That was meant to happen to teach me that I have childhood trauma. That was meant to happen to teach me to stay away from these kinds of people. That was meant to happen to show me that blah, blah, blah. You ain't done. No, you ain't done. No. You ain't done. You're not done until you have something to point to. That's when you're done. Because once dots start connecting and things start making sense, that's just the beginning. That's just the beginning of it. Okay, so that taught me that I have childhood trauma. Okay, what am I going to do with that? What am I going to do with that knowledge? Just going to sit and say, well, that's what it taught me. Okay, now what? Now I take what I learned and start applying it to my life. And I do this with such dedication and consistency that it starts producing positive results in my life. The results is the important part. Yeah, you're going to be learning all kinds of things along the way. That's a good thing. Dots are going to start connecting. Things might start making a little bit of sense. You might start getting a little bit of a general idea. Maybe it was meant to teach me this. Maybe it was meant to show me that. You know, things are kind of starting to line up and make sense. One of these days, you're going to literally see it. You're going to be able to point and say, dude, now I see why that was meant to happen that way. That was meant to happen that way so that this could happen this way. You know what the trick is? Let me tell you the trick. And I'm going to tell you what right now, this is some powerful information. This is some of the most powerful information that if you can grab all the way onto this, you can make miracles happen in your life. You are the only being capable of assigning meaning to the things that happen to you in your life. You're the only one that gets to do that. The only one. Your life and everything that's ever happened in your life is completely meaningless without your consent. The things that have happened to you in your life, the only meaning they will ever have is the meaning you give it. If you don't do that, then what is it? It's unresolved, unfinished business. Unresolved, unfinished business is what turns into karma. That's what turns into karma. Now, it takes time. I cannot stress that enough. You have to be patient and trust that process. I can't tell you how many times back in the day I would tell somebody that. And they would come back to me a month later and say, well, I tried assigning that an experience of meaning and it didn't work. No. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. You're working in tandem with your higher self to manifest the meaning. And your ego has to step the fuck out of the way and allow it to unfold. If you want to create the meaning with your ego, you can do that too, but that's still a very time-consuming process. I don't recommend that until it's a last case scenario. All right? But you set the intention, step the fuck out of the way, and allow your higher self in the universe to manifest the meaning. And that takes time. First, this has to make that happen, and then that has to make this happen, and then this has to make that happen. And sometimes the things happening are going to suck. Sometimes some of the steps in the path are not going to be fucking fun, and you have to trust that that's happening for a reason. I'm telling you, trusting that things are happening for a reason, to really be able to walk that fucking path, not just say it because it sounds cute, but literally be able to walk that path, that's hard. That's hard. That's a spiritual path. That's a fucking spiritual path. And it doesn't matter what anybody else says about anything. All that matters is what's going on between you and your higher self. That's it. Think about that, all right? Okie dokie. Gear shifting time now. Let's see what's, shit, what was I doing next? I think I was doing what's coming in next for the singles, wasn't I? Yeah, let's see what's coming in for the singles in the end of September. How's the energy looking for the singles? How's the energy looking for the single Cappies in the end of September? Uh-oh, damn, dog. Didn't this come out for y'all last time? I think you're connecting with somebody that you're not really all that interested in. Yeah. I don't know. I'm really feeling like there's somebody really, really, really digging you, trying to, I don't know if I would go as far as to say they're trying to force their way in necessarily. But the next person you're connecting with, something about this person triggers the shit out of your defenses. You know what it feels like to me. Oh, I got it. I got the writing all over the wall here. This looks like a good old classic case of something really bad just happened to me. Something really bad. I just got cheated on. I caught my fiance fucking my best friend. Something really, 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 really bad just happened to this person. They're caught up in a really, really heavy karmic tie, and they just want a new relationship to try to fill that void. And you feel that very intensely. Very intensely. Yeah. Whoo! Codependency. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. Could be somebody at the workplace for some of you. Let's dig up this person's intentions. We got their energy. I don't need their fucking energy. Let's look at their intentions. Are they actually coming from a good place? Are they coming from a bad place? Are they a sneaky, deceitful piece of shit little fuckwad? What's their intentions? Again, not that it fucking matters, but let's just see. Just for giggles and shits. Boom. All the same cards are coming out, dude. Yeah. I don't think they're coming from a bad place. Now, that does not give somebody a license to treat you like shit. That does not give somebody a license to do stupid, shitty things. That's not why I'm saying this. I'm saying this because it's up to you to decide whether or not you want to excuse shitty behavior. That's why I'm saying that. We all draw that line somewhere different. There's some things that if I know your intentions, I'll let it slide. What you did wasn't cool, but I know what you meant. I know where you're coming from, so I'll let that slide. There's other things that, no, fuck your intentions. You crossed the line. You crossed the line. I don't care how you meant it. No, you crossed the fucking line. Fuck the fuck off, right? Where do we draw that line? Where do we draw it? That's up to you. That's up to each individual, and that's very idiosyncratic. So that's why I read intentions. This person wants to try to find a life partner and settle down. They're just not at all in the place to be able to do that. They're not ready for that at all. Thank you, Carlos, for the super chat. Appreciate you. Thank you. All right, well, you ain't got to be a rocket scientist to figure out where that's going to go. You ain't even got to be a goddamn bird cage scientist to figure out where that's going to go. Let's grab some advice. What advice do we have? Oops. Ace of Cups reversed. Don't do it. Don't do it. I don't even know why this is coming through. The only thing that I would think as to why this message would come through is that maybe if some of you, because I do hear this from time to time in my personal readings, that when I first met this person, I had a feeling something was off. I wasn't really all that interested in them, but I just decided to see what would happen. I tried to tell them no, but they wouldn't leave me alone. Oh, that's what boils my fucking blood when I hear that. I don't know why that I see fucking red when I hear that. When you tell somebody no and they don't fucking respect it, that will make me snap. If it doesn't feel right, don't fucking do it. When you tell somebody no, if they do not respect your boundaries, first of all, that tells you everything you need to fucking know about them. That's a really slippery slope, you know, in the dating world. Really slippery, because you hear people say, well, sometimes it takes a little bit of persistence, you know, but where do we draw the line between being persistent and being disrespectful? Where do we draw that line? Anybody know? Am I being persistent and romantic? Or am I being fucking disrespectful? If I shoot my shot with you and you tell me no, and I continue to persist anyways, where do we draw the line between whether or not I'm just a passionate, hopeless romantic or a disrespectful, self-centered, narcissistic fuckwad that doesn't care about you? Where do I draw that line? You shouldn't have to be persistent. You shouldn't have to. Why would you have to? If you were my divine fucking life partner, would I have to chase you? If you were the one person the universe picked for me, would I have to chase you? Would I have to beg? Would I have to manipulate you? No. That would make the universe kind of a fucking moron, wouldn't it? Think about that. You gonna have to be more fucking stubborn than the stubborn ass. Because those types of people, I'm gonna tell you what, the only way they make their way through life is making sure that they are more headstrong than the people they're dealing with. They target people that they feel like are mentally and emotionally weaker than them. Can't do it. Don't do it. You better learn how to put that motherfucking foot down and keep it there. And stand 10 toes in on your decision. Because I'm going to tell you what right now. If you give them what they want, you know what you've just done, right? You've taught them how to manipulate you. They're like, yes, all right, I got you. I know your combination now. I know the combination lock. I know what emotional buttons to push. I know how hard I have to kick the door to get it to fly open. Got you. Before you know it, 6 months, a year later, oh, this person is such an abusive, controlling piece of shit. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Because the energy, the foundation that you laid with this person was showing them how to manipulate you. Showing them that your boundaries are weak. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay? All right. I feel like those were the messages that my Capricorn family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, the information for personal readings is all down here in the description. All right? And for those of you just now tuning in, the weekly live readings has moved to tomorrow this weekend. Okay? So we had something come up today, so we moved it. Next weekend, it'll go back to regular schedule. If you want to know how to participate in the weekly live readings, $22.22. You can read up about that on my website, okay? The link is in the description. It'll be tomorrow at 11 a.m.